For decades, North Carolina has been known for its forests, oceans, and peaceful small towns. But deep inside this quiet state lies a story that has been whispered about for nearly 50 years, a story officials refuse to acknowledge, witnesses are scared to discuss, and anyone who tries to investigate quickly learns they're dealing with something far more dangerous than they expected. The truth is simple: we've been lied to. And North Carolina is covering something up. It begins in the mid-1970s, when residents of a rural county, one that locals refer to only as the Triangle Woods, began hearing a strange, rhythmic humming noise late at night. Not animals. Not wind. Not any machine they recognized. The sound was low, metallic, and constant. Some described it as the vibration of engines. Others said it felt like the ground underneath their houses was breathing. People called authorities, but deputies brushed it off as imagination. Wildlife. Crickets. Maybe construction miles away. But the locals knew something wasn't right. Then the disappearances began. At first, they were small, someone's dog vanishing, footprints ending abruptly near the tree line. But by 1977, people started going missing. A 17-year-old boy on his way home from fishing. A hunter who never returned. A father and son camping trip that ended with only the family's tent found ripped apart, no blood, no tracks, and no bodies. The official explanation? Wild animals. But none of the residents believed that. Not when the same humming sound echoed across the woods every single night. The real turning point came in 1981. A local hunter, one of the few willing to enter that area, claimed he saw something half buried in the ground. It looked like a rusted metal hatch, covered in leaves, with bolts the size of soda cans and a small red warning symbol faded nearly to nothing. He swore he saw heat coming from the edges of the door, like something warm was inside, or had recently been inside. The next morning, he tried to bring a friend back, but the hatch was gone, covered with dirt, flattened by heavy equipment tracks. As if someone had worked overnight to bury it. 2 days later, government trucks rolled into the woods. No logos. No plates. Just white vehicles with tinted windows and armed men directing traffic. They fenced off the area with barbed wire and hung environmental hazard, do not enter signs. That's when the creeping suspicion became a full-blown belief. North Carolina wasn't protecting the public from nature. It was hiding something underneath. Locals later learned that in the 1960s, the federal government had approved secret underground testing tunnels in several southern states. The project was supposedly shut down before being completed. But old maps, leaked years later, showed tunnels beneath North Carolina that were never properly sealed or documented. Around 1995, a group of college students hiked near the Forbidden Zone and heard something terrifying. A long metal groaning sound, like a massive door being opened underground. Then the humming. One of them recorded it. The noise wasn't random, it had a pattern, like machinery powering up, then cooling down. When they posted the audio online, it was removed within 24 hours. Their account was banned. And their college received a visit from unidentified officials. By the early 2000s, the area was completely erased from public maps. What used to be a forest was now marked as restricted government property, but no department admitted owning it. Not the state. Not the military. Not any agency. So what exactly was inside? Eyewitnesses over the years described seeing trucks entering the zone at 3 a.m., massive crates being hauled underground, soldiers guarding the perimeter, men in hazmat suits walking in and out, but the strangest detail came from a former contractor who worked briefly near the site before he was relocated. He said the underground tunnels weren't abandoned, they were active. And whatever was inside wasn't supposed to be exposed to the surface. His words were chilling. It wasn't meant to wake up. Then, in 2012, seismic monitors across the area recorded a sudden violent vibration coming from below the ground, lasting 11 seconds. No earthquake. No explosion. Just a single pulse of energy from beneath the restricted forest. After that event, the nightly humming disappeared, but people in the nearest town began reporting something new. A distant metallic banging sound. Like something was hitting the walls from the inside. Authorities responded by expanding the restricted zone, sealing surrounding roads, and posting armed security 24/7. When questioned, they repeated the same line: environmental hazard, contaminated ground. But the equipment entering the site didn't look like environmental cleanup gear, it looked like containment equipment. Several retired workers privately stated that the tunnels below North Carolina weren't tunnels, they were vaults. Huge, reinforced chambers designed to hold something large, or something dangerous. In 2019, a wildlife photographer accidentally captured an image with strange lights glowing from underground ventilation shafts miles from the forest. When he reported it, officials confiscated his camera and told him he had violated state security protocols. He was photographing birds. But the most unsettling part of this entire story is what the government did next. They brought in noise-canceling barriers, massive ones, used only for military testing ranges. They installed underground sensors. They widened the fencing. And they started patrolling the airspace above it. That level of secrecy isn't for wildlife. It isn't for sewage. It isn't for contamination. It's for containment. So the biggest question remains: what has been beneath North Carolina for all these years? And what exactly are they trying to keep from the public? Some believe it's an abandoned Cold War experiment. Others think it's a biological research chamber. A few whisper something far worse: an entity, a creature, a mass that wasn't supposed to survive, but somehow did. Whatever the truth may be, one fact is certain: people have asked for answers for nearly 50 years. And the officials responsible? They've given none. We've been lied to. And what North Carolina is hiding, may be something the world isn't ready to know.